Tour guides in the Kigezi sub-region have been asked to embrace cultural literacy to represent the region's heritage and identity better. The call was made during a training session organized ahead of the International Museum Day 2025. This was emphasized by Herbert Byarhanga, Director of the Africa Institute of Tourism and Field Guiding, during a cultural guides training held at Chijime Guest House in Kabale. The training was organized by the Uganda Safari Guides Association in partnership with the Africa Institute of Tourism and Field Guiding as part of the activities leading up to International Museum Day 2025.
The training is intended to prepare the people around, the youth especially, to be able to get into the preparations of the International Museums Day, which is happening here on the 18th. We have the national preparations, national celebrations will be in Kabale. So we wanted to come in as Uganda Safari Guide Association to train the community here, targeting the youth who are still flexible, the jobless ones, to be able to tap into this opportunity of creating employment for themselves in culture as cultural guides. Culture is one of the biggest movers of traffic, tourist traffic around the world, for which actually fetches over 75% receipts of global income. It's not as compared to wildlife. Wildlife fetches little money. So we need to help them tap into the global money economy to be able to understand how they can sell culture, how they can package culture, and how they can also enjoy it and even invest in culture.
Byarhanga said that they are helping tour guides to appreciate the role of culture in tourism, and Kigezi has a wealth of culture heritage that must be preserved and showcased.
They have to do so, they have to work on themselves. They must be trained properly on how to work on themselves as a person, how to deal with tourists. It is important for every guide to know how to communicate to tourists. It's not about the way they talk at the moment, but they are set parameters, set standards which they must follow to be able to become professional cultural guides. Another thing is that how to deal with the tourists. There are things they must do. There are things to do with customer handling. How do they handle a customer of culture? Handling customers of the culture tourists is different from handling a guest in a hotel. How do you deal with them vis-a-vis cultural behavior of the communities? You know, they need to do that to be able to know how do I deal with this and how do I deal with difficult clients. Cultural clients can be very difficult in a way that they are faced by cultural challenges, and therefore they can turn out to be difficult because especially when they have paid a lot of money, they want to see value for the money. So the tourist guides must be trained properly and be able to understand how to conduct a successful cultural tour.
I'm just trying to tell you the level of performance you should be. Our youth are not employed. Doctor, Reverend, Twinama, in Montero. But you get someone, you meet a young man smart like this in the office. You reach there, you need help. The guy keeps on the phone. What's up? This is a public office. He's well dressed, he's smart, he's in a rolling chair, he's sitting. You're like, sir, I'm asking this. He goes on the phone on WhatsApp, and they are crying for job. And they're like, our elders are doing nothing. 5 years in the office, 4 are like that. Prove me, just go to offices.
Participants welcome the initiative, saying it equips them with tools to improve their storytelling and engage tourists in meaningful ways.
How is culture going to be exposed to the outside world? Because right now we have different culture. African culture is different from the outside culture. It's different from the Western culture. Two different. So how are we supposed to preserve it? How are we supposed to enhance it? How are we supposed to make it a big deal of how people can be extracted? Because right now, to make it a short term about culture, I would say that culture is becoming an extraction.
Kwetegeza kumanya ngo umugenyi na itagaci okumanya byuhangwa bwitu kaza cyo kureberaho za museum zitu, cyo kureberaho ebizino byitu, cyo kureberaho amatungo bwitu, emibereho y'abantu hamwe n'ibinangwa nuko abantu bari kunemirimo y'abantu bitu bari kuturomo cyaza kuba kutuma bahehiga okubaraze kutwaza na munonga okureba ngu bayega okubitebekanisagye okubiri kuza kutwazibwa kandi nka Kigezi nomanya beyinike bitagata ebyo twine munkabatwa abo ebyona nibyo buhango nibere batakekiri babitwazi bata ebizino byetu enanga zitu ebyo kuya byitu okuturi kuteka okuturi kushigisha okuturi kwenga okuturi kuhesha kandi hamwe n'amarundaniro gitu nashiga museum agagezo yakare mwene ogumushomo okutwariza hamwe gwaza kwereza obwenge abeji okubara abase kwata abagenyi nashi abarambuzi bakabatambuza bari kubereka ebyo buhangwa byitu.
When you do not have, or when you're not equipped with enough information, it always becomes hard for you to deliver effectively. So it has been a challenge that we have not been, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I think this has been a challenge because here in Kigezi we have not had enough trainings with regards to cultures, and in this generation you can see when you are not equipped with that information you might not know. So these people that have actually come up and think about coming to Kigezi and teach us about culture the more have really done a great job, and I believe it is going to equip with a number of people with knowledge about their culture and heritage at large.
Kabale District will host this year's International Museum Day celebrations on May 18th, 2025 under the global theme, The Future of Museums in Rapidly Changing Communities. The event will spotlight how museums and cultural custodians can adapt to shape ongoing social, technological and environmental transformations. Story by Mara Mishimwe and Nobandia Mhache for Kigezi Television.